Hey Brickmaniacs, it's Lando here, and today Dan is joining us, and we have the all-new Ontos and a couple other cool things from that same era.
Right.
Let's go over the MUTT first.
Big release week, yes. The Ontos is the big release of the week, but we do have the little M151 MUTT. So this is the Vietnam era Jeep, the equivalent basically. So this was made by Ford. It's significantly different. It has the same purpose. It's a 1/4 ton, a general purpose vehicle. They call it the MUTT, just to denote that it was an actual different vehicle. So Cody did this one. I just want to point out some features on it. Basically, you do have some cool features. It does have things like the windshield goes down or up. So this is basically, the same equivalent of the World War II Jeep. They made it a little bit bigger to make it more stable. Has a little bit wider and longer wheelbase. Of course, since this is a Vietnam era vehicle, it does have the M60 rather than a 30 caliber machine gun on it. This is all comes standard, so you could probably put 4 figures in this without much effort whatsoever. We will be keeping this MUTT around. This is our. Well, usually we have the World War II Jeep available all year round. This year we're going to be doing the MUTT available. Right. So give a little bit more, spotlight to the other big conflict in the 20th century, other than World War I and World War II. So,
right. When would this have seen what different battles would this have seen combat?
All during the Vietnam War.
Sure.
So everywhere in Vietnam.
Right.
So it was everywhere. It was in Hanoi. It was used by the troops at all the bases, all the outposts. You have searchlight versions. You have these patrol versions. There's even armored versions that the Air Force and the Army had put together for either base patrol, perimeter patrol. So there'd be an armored box. And we actually do plan on putting out several versions of this throughout the year. So there will be one with a recoilless rifle. There'll be one, we're going to do an armored box on it. It'll be kind of fun. But
very nice.
This is the base model. You can get it everywhere. It's perfect for any Vietnam mock. It does come with a pretty extensive sticker sheet.
Yeah, they really outdid themselves on star placement there. So
Right. The thing is these things were coming off the assembly line, and they had some, shiny new toys. Let's put serial numbers on them everywhere. So hence we basically copied them. Of course, you don't have to put those on. This one in particular is a U.S. Army version. If you wanted to use it for Marines, it would be okay. Just don't put the Army sticker on it.
Yeah, there is a Marine sticker that comes with this kit as well.
Yep, you have an alternate, so you can do both. For the purpose of the demonstration model, we have the Army stickers on it.
Very cool. Yeah. All right, on to the Ontos, I guess.
The Ontos.
Yes.
So this is almost unbelievable.
Look at this thing.
It's like right out of Terminator. In fact, I'm sure they got some ideas for the Terminator movies from this sort of vehicle. The Ontos was built designed in the 1950s as a light anti-tank weapon. So the theory was that the Soviet army would come rushing out of Eastern Europe, invading the West, and they needed the Army wanted a bunch of light, small anti-tank vehicles, and the Ontos is one of the solutions that was come up for this. It's supposed to be air transportable, it's supposed to be light, it's supposed to have a small crew, and effective, and it was, and it matched all those things. Ironically, the Army didn't take any. They had a few, then they're like, we don't want this, we changed our mind, we're just gonna have tanks instead. But of course the Marine Corps will take anything they can get, and they said this is perfect, it fits into our role that we're looking for. We're still looking for something to defeat tanks. Everything the Army wanted, the Marines wanted too, and the Marines said, let's get them. So this is the Ontos.
Yes.
It is a small tracked vehicle. It is made by a tractor company. So what better to have your small track vehicle than built by a tractor company? It's perfect. This is, I believe, an Alice Chalmers design.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of tanks, a lot of bulldozers and things from World War II, and even throughout pretty much the 20th century, Alice Chalmers is a big name in traction propelled vehicles. Perfect for this. It lived up to everything it was supposed to do. These 105 millimeter recoil rifles, actually they called them 106 millimeters to distinguish between the earlier version, but they are still 105 millimeters. So it uses a regular artillery shell that's been modified. In this case, I just have a brick arb shell. The kit does actually not come with these. I have this just to show you some of the unique feature that each one of these recoilless rifles are the same that we had on the mechanical mule.
So they debuted on the mule. Yeah.
Yeah, they debuted in the mule. We have 6 of them on the Ontos, so we're bringing them back. All the little breeches do open. And I just wanted to demonstrate this.
So these are custom 3D printed breeches and these spotting rifles.
Spotting rifles on the top. Let's
these are custom printed in-house.
So this Ontos has 6 breeches, 4 spotting rifles, and there are some little brackets here too. So the actual Ontos only had 4 spotting rifles. They did not put a spotting rifle on the lower, but they did have the brackets on it because it's a standard recoilless rifle. In theory, you could take these rifles off, put them on a tripod, and you have a standard recoilless rifle. And in fact, they did that. The Ontos each was equipped with 2 tripods. They never carried them because it was just like extra junk to tow around. But just as a demonstration, we do want to show that you can put the shell in here. These standard brick arm shells are a little bit long. If you have some of the other shells, like the ones that came with the World War I cannons, things like that, a little bit shorter, or the armor-piercing shells, they will actually be able to close the breech once you put that shell in there. So I just wanted to demonstrate that it is hollow, and it's a nice little play feature. The actual Ontos has a crew of 3. So there's a driver, a commander who sits in the top, and then there'd be a loader. So when the
poor guy whose job was to load this
thing. They didn't even give him a seat. He just had to kind of crouch inside the vehicle. And then when they shot all 6 of their rounds, or any combination rounds, the guy had to get out and load these things out. Yeah, load these things, stand outside, load them. Fortunately, it wasn't like a huge, the guns are pretty easily operated. So they estimated you could reload this thing under a minute. So if you were quick. So you do have a commander figure. It does fit right in the top of the turret here. You get the brick arms M1919 with it. It does have a sticker sheet that comes with 2 different vehicles, both Marine Corps. Actually, I think one of them's Army. There is an Army one. So one of them we copied. These are the 2 Ontos that we found in museums. One was from the Fort Knox Museum, I believe, the Patton Museum. And the other one was actually the Marine Corps museums. That's where we copied our sticker designs from. So you do get 2 different vehicles. Let's talk about the figure.
Yeah, sure. New artwork debuting on this minifigure on both the head and the torso. So starting on that head with this really awesome Lego football helmet or whatever. I don't know where Lego uses this helmet.
It is. We'll use it for lots. It's a pilot's helmet. It's kind of like the new helmet. I like it because it doesn't have the lower part of the helmet, which is perfect for this particular application. And they just happen to have it in dark green, which is actually pretty close to the Marine Corps.
Yeah, it looked quite a bit like the tanker helmets from Vietnam. So brand new goggles and this microphone, this Vietnam era little microphone.
We've never done Vietnam era Marines before. We've done Vietnam era soldiers, like Army soldiers. Never done Marines. Marines have different, unique uniforms.
Yeah, it's quite a mishmash of gear. I mean, actually, some of their helmet covers date back to World War II, actually. So it's kind of like they were.
What jacket is he wearing?
So yeah, this is a brand new flak vest or armored. What's the delineation between the two?
I don't know. Somebody out there.
So
it's a bulletproof jacket.
Yes, he's got a. He has the M55, so that was specific to the Marine Corps, and kind of just an interesting jacket for the time. It was like an integrated pistol belt on the bottom of it with those pistol loops. It didn't appear that they used it all that much for that configuration because you'd see them with a standalone pistol belt all the time.
That's because if you took your jacket off, you're taking your pistol off.
Right. So just again, it's a very specific piece of equipment to the Marine Corps from that era. And
I used to see those in surplus stores all the time.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's all gone now.
All gone now. Sad.
20 years ago, you could find this stuff everywhere.
Right. And just some subtle features. There's I noticed that the pockets on the front oftentimes were made with a different material, so it kind of faded at a different rate. So I have that in a slightly different color, which is a subtle detail, but really fun minifigure to design. And which is awesome because we got a chance to make a sticker pack to go with it. I don't know if you want to keep talking about the Ontos
let's move on. This is the Ontos. Comes with the one driver. He's fully printed. He's not a sticker. These are all 360 degree, so it is printed under the arms. Kind of cool details that we like to do as our new standard. I think.
Sure.
Let's talk about the sticker.
Yes, all new sticker pack also coming out. So this is the Vietnam War, the Hue Marines. Hue. Yes, Marines, and. This is from the Tet Offensive, and just again a really unique loadout for these guys for that era. I found that they were wearing. So you see here that there's a mix of olive and Lego dark gray here. That might kind of look weird and out of place, but as I was just going through different source pictures, their uniforms were just all over the place. They kind of were wearing a mishmash of gear dating back to, you know, World War II even. You'd see the Mitchell pattern helmets, you'd see the frog skin colored helmets, and you'd see just these plain steel pot helmets all in the same photograph. These gray uniforms, pretty cool. It's actually, I believe that they are Navy like raincoats. And
right. The battle took place in January, February, March of 1968. So it is cold. If you can believe Vietnam is cold, their equivalent of winter would be more like super monsoon.
Sure.
So raining all the time. They're wearing rain gear. It's miserable. They're wet. They're soggy. So yeah, any rain gear, and of course Marines being so closely connected to the Navy, they would have all this sorts of Navy gear.
Absolutely.
They could beg, steal, or borrow on their way over.
So they had there's 6 guys on here with boots and the top half of the boots, or there's some like cuffed pants. So you'd see sort of different configurations on how they chose to wear it. But a really, really fun sticker pack.
So you do have one M60 gunner with a bandolier.
Yeah, really fun sticker pack. Just a crazy amount of variety that you can build into these guys.
So our first real Vietnam sticker.
Yeah, really awesome.
Marine sticker pack.
So,
cool.
One of my favorite to design so far, and this is actually one of my favorite vehicles because it's just so ridiculous.
It's kind of nutty. They didn't have very many of these, but they did. They served really well, and people liked them because you could basically fire all 6 of these guns. It's a 105 millimeter artillery shell, and you could. The reason they have the gun on here because it's a line of sight weapon. Sure. So you use the 50 caliber sighting rifle on top to designate your target. It has a little explosive charge at the tip of the bullet. You go, oh, that's exactly what I want to hit. And you just hit you can hit one, shoot one, or any combination of 1 or 6 at a time. And the back blast from this thing was amazing. You couldn't have anything for like an entire city block behind this thing. So if you had any Marines that were next to this vehicle, they'd be make sure that they weren't behind it because even when I guess the first time they shot all 6 at once at Fort Knox, where they're doing a test of this thing, it blew out windows and buildings for blocks away. The back blast. Yeah, so interesting story. I mean, I was doing a lot of reading on this thing before I built the model. But yeah, it was, if you were on the receiving end of a volley of 6 of these shells, they would use it to knock down buildings. Like basically, okay, that building's occupied by Viet Cong guerrillas. What do? They just take the building down.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Wow, that's the Ontos. Isn't that like Latin for thing or something like that?
Greek, actually. It's Greek. Yes, it's Greek. It does mean thing in Greek. So if you want to know the origin of the name Ontos.
Yes. All right.
I'm not sure how that got related to this, but it might just have to do with sort of the sort of unearthly appearance of this thing.
Did they like start off with like 2 on top? Like I bet we can get 4. Oh, let's put 6 on there while we're at it. Is that what?
I don't know. I could imagine it's like if it's the Marines, they're just like more guns. Put more on it. But this wasn't actually designed by the Marines. So. But I can see why they would like it.
Yeah. Very Marine Corps vehicle right there. Yeah. That's the Ontos, designed by Dan Siskind, and the MUTT, designed by Cody Osell. For more information on everything you see here, please check out brickmania.com. Thanks for watching.